let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies, and we're breaking them all the way down.
Hi, John.
Kevin.
I'm feeling good.
We're feeling good.
The bourbon's kicking in.
It's flowing. It's flowing. It's got us in a mood. Some kind of mood.
We're killing bottles tonight, boys.
That's right. We're making room.
If you got a bottle of something that's lingering at your house, like a pour or two left, a heavy pour, dump it out.
I try to, and I don't know why, just to spread the love, but like I try to gauge the bottles. I try to go around in a cycle to make sure that everything is around the same level. But
okay,
it makes for
different types of OCD.
It makes a very expensive buying process because I kill everything pretty much around
at the
same time.
Yeah. Well, we're about to make a pilgrimage.
That's right. That's why we're making room in Kevin's liquor cabinet and mine.
Got to. We're going to go to Kentucky and see what they know about bourbon up there. The hint,
very
spoiler,
little.
a lot. But we're also here excited to be back to talk more about Cobra.
Yeah.
The 1986, was it?
1986.
Stallone masterpiece.
Yeah, one of the greatest films ever made.
Yes. Just everything about it, perfect.
Canon, need we say more? Canon, Stallone, done.
The plot, fucking airtight.
No questions asked. Everything ties up like with a neat little bow.
It is. I feel like it is Stallone's right-wing wet dream. You know.
Yes, that's exactly. I call it. It's like an ultra-right conservative wet dream. Is this movie?
Yeah, just fucking.
Especially
if you think someone's
system.
bad, if you know they're guilty, just fucking kill them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry about it. You get away with it. You get away with it.
We are, by the way, not condoning that behavior. We're
no,
just pointing
I
out.
was pointing out it's fucking monstrous.
We're pointing out this movie for what it is, which is a nightmare for reasonable people.
Yes. This
movie should have been called The Thin Blue Line because it is what people wish cops could do. It's like, oh, well, yeah, mistreat minorities and kill people with impunity.
Shoot first and ask questions later. Figure it out after the gun smoke
is... empty the clip and let the good Lord decide. I think it was Reno 911.
Oh,
said it.
But we're back for part 4. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. Welcome our friends on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network.
Yes.
Listening in. You guys are great.
Daniel Day-Lewis, thanks for checking in as always.
And Dame Judi Dench in the house.
Sorry about the Queen, you guys. She passed away today, but we send our condolences. We raise a glass to Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah.
She doesn't figure into this story, but it's still sad to think about.
And most of my British friends aren't particularly fond of the monarchy, like as an institution.
Right.
But she seemed like a genuinely decent person as far as we could see from the outside.
I, for whatever reason, a lot of people in the arts community are just like, they are Anglophiles.
Yes, that's when you're a fan of British culture.
But then like all about the Queen's Jubilee, they're all into everything.
They're those royal weddings.
Oh man, they're all about some fascinators and royal weddings. It's like they are all up about it. So it's interesting because I have an interesting cross section of friends that are not necessarily in the arts who are like, why does the monarchy exist other than to be a tax burden? And, you know, it's the symbolic thing, and it's existed for 1,000 years now. Well, and then others that are like just down, they're like, we wish we were still property.
Fuck that noise.
We wish that we were still colony.
I love taxation without representation.
Yeah, it's the best.
What's odd, though, is unless you're listening in and you're like in your 70s plus, like this will be the first coronation of any of our lifetimes.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Very fascinating to
probably not
watch
the last, because the
Prince Charles is probably
next man up. But what is he, 70?
Charles is 73, I think I read today. So it's like, unless he's got 23 years in him,
Yeah.
I don't know if his liver's cut out for it, but
Shit.
That's neither here nor there.
What is he drinking? He's drinking scotch, probably.
I've seen him drink beer, but also I think he's just an equal, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Gin drinks
some
and
Beefeater,
maybe some scotch.
Some Bombay Sapphire.
God, can you imagine the scotch that's available to the monarchy?
No. Like, I can't imagine that the Queen is a fan of much of a tipple, but even at Balmoral, you know that they've got some 200. They had some 200-year-old scotches in that basement.
Absolutely, they probably have the best like brandy and everything like that you can imagine.
We should make it a mission to try some like just top shelf 50 to 100-year-old scotch sometime and just see what it's like.
After the pilgrimage to Kentucky, it'll be time for the pilgrimage to the Highlands.
Yeah. Oh man, the Highlands and Isla for sure. But anyway, we just killed 5 minutes talking about the monarchy. I'm not sad about it. I think it's kind of awesome. So yeah, what happened in this movie before?
Into Cobra here.
What happened in this movie before is that Ingrid, who showed up in the aftermath of a night slasher murder, had then been targeted by the night slasher folks. They'd attacked her, tried to kill her. She ended up in the hospital under police protection. This plan's airtight. There's no way they're going to get to you. There were multiple cops apparently stationed there, but then we've discovered that there's a mole, an officer Stalk,
great name,
working on the inside for the night slasher cult, who called
but
not
she
only
seems like
to,
she's one of the top brass of the cult as well.
Who earlier was like taking calls from.
She gets one-on-one audiences like with the night slasher himself,
right? Yeah,
or she almost seems like she's like I said before, she's like a soothsayer.
Yeah, she's the fan club president.
She sits there and rubs his shoulders and says, "Here's what you got to do."
Ramses muscles are number one.
It's all for you.
It's all for you, Damien.
Yeah.
It's all for you. So anyway, Night Slasher gets back into the hospital to kill Ingrid, is unsuccessful solely because the door was too thick.
Ingrid fended for herself.
She fended for herself.
She
got out of there, pulled a fire alarm. Cabretti showed up at the same time.
I love that no one showed up to save the day for her. She saved herself. That's
also,
like kind of rare.
Nothing is ever really made of the fact that Cobra spent 2+ hours at his home doing private police work.
Whacking off, fucking jerking off to his mugshots and fingerprints.
We should also mention that he was attacked. So he has enough evidence between she saw multiple attackers under the bridge.
Yes,
he's been attacked by multiple people. They were attacked by multiple people via automobile. For him to later say it's a big group.
You're right.
What proof do you have?
It's about to get weird.
So anyway, Ingrid's fine. There's this big car chase. Night Slasher himself is out in force in a car. There's another car.
Cobra terribly endangered Ingrid's life.
It put her life in danger. And by virtue of the fact that Night Slasher was too lazy to just go check and see if they were dead, they're still alive. And
you could have gone to walk right up to the car and shot them both point blank.
I got a gun in my room right now. But no, anyway.
The 5-point harnesses saved the day.
Everyone is still alive, and that's where we pick up the action.
No one's the worse for wear. Yeah, so back at police headquarters, there's a meeting of, I guess, the city leaders. Cobra's pacing around the room like a fucking caged animal.
Why would Cobra be in this meeting?
No.
And why would the victim be right outside?
That's what I
door?
said. So Ingrid's just outside watching, which is like this loud, unprofessional argument going on right in front of the endangered witness, you know? It'd be awesome if the whole scene had been drowned out by the sound of gunfire from the shooting range that's across
right
the
next
fucking
door.
hall.
What the hell?
But the chief is freaking out, saying the city's become a big battlefield.
We're going to have tons of legal problems.
Yeah, you've got them already. Captain Sears is saying the public's going to be crying for federal assistance, and they don't want the FBI coming and getting all up in their shit, which I don't know why.
Yeah, but and then this is where this dude pipes up that I think is Presley or whatever that we mentioned in the last episode, because this other dude that we've never seen before pipes up and says, you know, like he's freaking out, asking, we need to be able to keep control of this situation. Like, who are you? Why are you here?
I feel like if the FBI comes, they're probably going to uncover like all the fucking incompetence is going on within the
and that's probably the thing.
Is they're probably like, we got to keep the feds away, the government. People,
we don't want the federal people.
So Cobra says they're dealing with an army of killers, not just one.
I keep telling you guys that.
Monty says that theory is weak and there's no evidence to back it up.
Despite what we just said about there being multiple attackers under the bridge, multiple attackers at Cobra's apartment, multiple attackers in the
parking garage,
in the chase, in the parking garage.
Ingrid could say, no, 5 people were there trying to kill me. And Cobra's like, 3 people attacked me at my apartment. There's corpses there that I left behind. Like, there is evidence. This is clearly not one man.
We are adding, in addition to the 3 that I've killed, there are at least 8 more. So, yeah, all right, maybe a militia then he should have called it.
But this is another remnant of the subplot in which Monty was like part of the cult.
They should have kept that to the end.
It makes no sense why you cut that, really. I mean, I can't figure it.
Maybe it's because it reads from a mile away that's what it's going to be, and then it's like, wait a minute,
it's not a surprise.
Monty's not a bad guy? Yeah. I'm more surprised that he wasn't a bad guy.
But Monty says that Cobra's idea to take her out of the city to protect her is a bad idea. Sears agrees, says she'd be safer in the city where there's plenty of police. Cobra says that's not going to work. We're dealing with fanatics that'll do anything to waste her.
But let me just, that's not a good argument. By that token, it doesn't matter where she is, so why take her out of the city?
No, I don't know. Was the term of wasting someone, was that ever commonly used outside of movies? I don't think I've ever heard that. Cobra says it a lot in this, but I don't know that I've ever heard the fanatics that'll do anything to waste her.
We should do a deep dive on the term. On the term
to waste somebody.
Yeah, to waste somebody. I probably. I mean,
it was
probably
Stallone's idea of cool talk.
But I think it had to have come from somewhere.
He certainly didn't coin the phrase. I don't think. But I don't know that I've
never coined any phrase except for Yo, Adrian.
So Monty and Cobra, they go toe to toe. Monty's saying that Cobra's just using Ingrid as bait. Then he says, you've already caused a lot of people to die. How about letting her live? And it's like, wait.
Who's dead?
Who did Cobra cause to die?
Yeah, who else is dead because of Cobra?
Unless he means events prior to the start of the film, which maybe he does. I feel like Cobra probably has led to some people getting killed before.
Cobra's internal affairs rap sheet is 15 dot matrix printer pages long.
If you think about the fact that Cobra instigated that chase that we just saw.
Yeah, that was all him.
And that he made that happen, and Night Slasher blew up those tankers, that probably people did die.
Yeah.
Civilians, that it is sort of Cobra's fault.
There's no way that that's what I'm saying is he would have been relieved of duty.
You're a maniac. You're too deep in this case.
There's no way he would be working still. His badge would have been taken away.
But without the Monty as evil subplot, we're just sort of left with Monty just hates Cobra for some reason.
Which is way less effective.
Yeah.
It's just man, it would have been so cool if Monty had been a bad guy. Spoiler, he's not. But it turns out he's just sort of a pencil pusher. He's a dick. Anyway.
But Cobra is clearly ready to snap, and Monty pushes him over the edge here. So Cobra grabs Monty, throws him around the office a little bit.
Yeah, Sears and Gonzalez step in.
They separate him. Yeah, Cobra storms out.
But not before he looks at Monty. He's like, next time. So you're threatening him in front of the chief of police? Now I'm threatening a fellow officer. Okay.
So the chief decides it's better just to let Cobra take Ingrid and leave the city if it means that maybe the crazies will follow them. Which is the
insane.
It's also the first good idea anyone's had. But
that's also insane, isn't it?
Let her die. Just let her, as long as it doesn't happen in the city limits, our ass
I'm trying to think of an equivalent situation where
it's so negligent. It's let's just pass the buck, baby.
It's like Europe saying, move the concentration camps out of Europe, move them somewhere else so we don't have to. I don't know. It's just the logic is nuts. Being it'll not be our problem anymore.
Yeah, if
we won't have to reckon with this later.
So Cobra and Ingrid, they lead the way in this pickup truck. I don't know whose truck it is.
Sweet truck,
pretty cool, yeah. Followed by Gonzalez and the evil officer Stalk in a fucking sweet Mustang convertible.
Right. Yeah, that car is awesome.
That was the shit that Johnny Utah drove in Point Break. I think it was the same model.
Oh, was it? That car is hot.
That Mustang was badass. Is that Gonzalez's personal car?
Probably.
Where did that come
I think
from?
so.
It was amazing.
He saved up. I love that the music that starts playing does not fit the vibe of A Secret Escape. It's very funky. It's what's happening?
It was the song Feel the Heat by Jean Beauvoir. I don't know what his deal was, but yeah, it was a weird song. Ingrid was dressed like Rocky in Russia from Rocky IV, like with the newsboy hat and the shearling jacket.
She was sort of dressed like Gonzalez.
She raided his wardrobe.
Yeah, they have matching flat caps, which I'm into.
So yeah, we see now that one of the tattoo of one of the evil cult members, some dude in a motorcycle, sort of stalking them.
Right.
Ingrid is asking, "Are we just going to drive around until they try to kill me again?" Basically. Cobra says, "You gotta have faith; they won't get you."
That's not an answer. Whatever. That's not an answer. That's not logical. Bizarre. That's not an answer.
That's not very reassuring either.
No. Well, you just gotta have faith that I'm gonna do the right. If I were her, I'd be like, I need to be away from you if I'm gonna live.
I mean, it's the start of the filmmakers trying to shoehorn in this romantic subplot
again with Stallone. Always, it's like we got to make this happen.
I gotta make it with somebody.
Make it with the champ.
So we see the bad guys are loading guns. Cobra and the others are driving through this beautiful California landscape. I love that shit.
Yeah, it is very beautiful.
Cobra is just staring at Ingrid.
Look at the road, you fuck.
I know. Eyes on the road, Cobra. So she asks, "Why were you arguing with the other police guys?" He says, "Well, sometimes they just don't buy what I believe."
Yeah, no shit. Crazy.
But what an odd fucking phrasing. What an odd thing to say. It's like he's trying to phrase it in a way that makes himself sound like very wise.
It's like people that don't believe me are wrong. People that don't believe in the same things I do are wrong.
They don't buy what I believe.
What?
I feel like that's Stallone's vision though for the character.
It's teeing up Stallone's probably personal view of the American justice system
at this point in 1986. Yeah. But like Cobra is this sort of his vision. I think is like. He's this infallible, outlier. He stands alone against the bad guys and all the other cops who are also, like, equally shitty.
We should do a side-by-side compare. We should do a whole series, even if it's outside the purview of the time limits of the era of Arnold, of Stallone movies where he is a man of the law who is above the law.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Judge Dreddy's got to be Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Yeah, we have to look into that.
Because
I'm trying to think what was Cliffhanger's deal. I don't know that he wasn't a cop. He wasn't law enforcement in that, was he? He was like a mountain rescue.
He was altitudinally above the law.
Elevation-wise,
he was high above the law.
I love the thought of John Lithgow and Stallone's fisticuffs. Like, Lithgow is amazing, but he is not like a tough guy.
No.
He is not a brute.
No.
You know? Anyway,
we'll talk about... You'd think he was.
I love that movie, though. So we'll do that one another time, though, friends.
Anyway, let's talk about this speech that Stallone gives. This back and forth.
So really Ingrid says, "There's all these crazy people everywhere. Why can't the police just put them away and keep them away?" "Hey, tell it to the judge."
"What do you mean?"
"We put them away, they let them out."
It makes me sick.
"Like I said, you got to tell it to the judge."
Basically, he's saying if they let us just kill them.
Right. If Cobra had his way, we'd kill all criminals or lock them up permanently. Right. Every crime, life sentence, or you die at the hands of the police.
It's crazy.
There's all these crazy people everywhere.
Reagan capitalism versus white boy racist justice.
We got to stock up the criminal prison complex.
We got to arrest them because we got to make money. But you realize America would be a better place if we just killed all the.
This is like the root of Cobra's philosophy, is that just the system is too soft on maniac killers.
We should still be doing public executions.
Also, just watching the scene, I just think about like the deep intellectual conversations that Brigitte and Sly must have had. Like
coked out of their minds.
Yeah, it's like these two are the most shallow people on earth, I think.
Absolutely. Man, that makes me really, really curious. Because she was young. She was so young.
She had to be. If he was pushing 40, she was early 20s, I think.
And God love her, she was just probably like living the Hollywood life and being like, God, this is the dream. And
I'm married to one of the biggest stars on the planet.
And she woke up an hour later than he's been up for 3 hours pumping iron on coke and steroids,
drinking protein shakes.
He's like, have you worked out yet? Go work out.
What are you eating?
Don't touch me until you've until you've worked out and then only eaten an
Want a
egg
bite of my
white.
apple? What, you don't like health food?
Gross. This is so
This
gross.
dude's
Anyway,
a fucking freak. But
Stallone, if you're listening, you're gross.
back in Cobra Land, they drive past like another evil cult biker.
That dude, I feel like it's the same cult biker. It's like
Same dude?
These dudes know the shortcuts.
And they're Cobra, for the super cop that he's supposed to be, seems
Not
sort
observant.
of like oblivious to
Well,
the fact they've bikers
He's
everywhere.
distracted by Ingrid's,
That's true.
by
He's-
Ingrid's beauty and,
man.
and by her buying into his bullshit system of law enforcement.
So later on, they've stopped off at a convenience store where Gonzalez is like stocking up on junk food.
Great day for junk food, babe.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I love it. I love Gonzalez's character. Actually, at least is consistent.
Yeah.
Beginning to end, he's like he's got a sweet tooth.
Do you love the big neon Coors sign in the window as he's coming out?
for California?
Right.
Yeah, dude.
That's a cool sign.
It was
Badass.
nice. So Cobra holds up a rubber frog and makes the hilarious joke, "Why don't you add a little meat to your diet?" Oh, fuck. Stallone, he's just not a funny guy.
I don't like frog legs, Gonzalez says.
Yeah.
To ill effect. It's like, this conversation's going nowhere.
So now Gonzalez walks over to Ingrid, offers her some of his food, calls her a fellow garbage belly,
Yeah.
which I thought was weird. And I love that line like appeared to have like made Cobra's ears perk up. Like, what? Who's a garbage belly?
Yeah, you
Not-
calling me?
Not Ingrid.
Also, in the background, you see Stark is eyeing all of them menacingly while the car is getting filled up with gas. Cobra is over there rummaging for tchotchkes. Like, what the hell is he doing? Like, Cobra's quirks are like Stallone decides in real time what quirks his character has. Like, oh, this will make him interesting. He loves roadside tchotchkes.
So he gave a weirdly disapproving look to Ingrid, like liking junk food or whatever.
Right.
So Gonzalez, he buys a Coke from the vending machine, which how is that not a Pepsi?
I don't know.
It makes no sense because we've had Pepsi
Thus far in the movie, for
all
sure.
up in this film.
Because they probably couldn't get one there in time on the shooting schedule.
Maybe they're just like, they went to Coke also. Do you want to, like, if you're Pepsi, you have to demand, like, we're going to be the only soft drink in the movie.
Right.
You don't say, we're just paying for these couple of appearances and you can put Coke in the other scenes.
Yeah,
But-
I think this was an instance probably they're just like they didn't realize the shooting location.
They were just
didn't
on
work
location
out.
and there was
Yeah.
a real Coke machine there. So
Also, they're in matching flat caps. Adorable.
yes. So Gonzalez and Ingrid, they get to talking about Cobra. Ingrid seems skeptical that he's competent.
Yeah,
You
same.
know? Right? So Gonzalez says, I know he looks like a fugitive from the 50s, but he's sure is great at catching psychos. What a fucking... This screenplay was like written at a 6th grade level. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it's
that's not
bizarre.
surprising. Yeah.
Apparently the character of Cobra was like part of the... I just think of this when you see Cobra just sort of standing there like looking cool.
Yeah.
The character of Cobra was apparently part of the inspiration for the main character in Drive, the Ryan Gosling's character.
That makes sense.
Was like the director, the dude from Denmark or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. He like loved Cobra. Well, I don't know if he loved Cobra. He loved like the neon aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like, just looking cool with your glasses and driving gloves on all the time.
Yeah. But Drive looks more like a Michael Mann movie or something like
Yeah.
that. It's so neon.
I'm gonna have to watch Drive again because it is literally like a great movie.
Yeah, Drive is amazing.
And so stylized, but it wasn't like. It just wasn't. Yeah, it probably didn't have all the.
Drive is what this movie would aspire to be.
Like, could have been.
Yeah, and it actually, like if Michael Mann had this material in his hands, this movie might have been badass.
But so Gonzalez tells Ingrid that Cobra is the pride of the zombie squad. Which she's like, what's that? And he says it's the bottom line.
And so again, we mentioned this in the last
sounds very
episode.
official.
We still haven't ever been told what the zombie squad is, other than the movie's allusions to it being the cops who are allowed to kill people with no repercussions.
The bottom line. What that ever means, I don't know. That doesn't sound very official to me.
It's if you don't think a judge is going to prosecute, then this perpetrator has to die. We have to kill the perp.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Gonzalez then encourages Ingrid to go over and call him,
Something.
and then he like whispers something in her ear. So Cobra, meanwhile, he's entertaining himself with a bobblehead doll.
And again, this is one of those moments where it's like Stallone, like, a human might be amused by this object.
He comes off as just like a simpleton, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then he seems to make fun of the woman for selling it. He's like, hot item, bitch.
So Ingrid comes over. She calls him Marion Cobretti. Cobra says Gonzalez
isn't
talks
that John
too much.
Wayne's?
Yeah, Marion.
Yeah,
Marion Morrison, I think.
John Wayne's first
But
name.
apparently it was like that was Sly's inspiration to call Marion was because he was a John Wayne guy. But Cobra says Gonzalez talks too much. And Ingrid says she likes the name. So another piece, though, falls into place. I feel like Cobra was probably a bullied kid, and that's part of the reason why he's like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Like power crazed
because he was
cop.
small. He's smallish.
Yeah.
And named
now he's like
Marion.
all beef. Now he's all roided up and fucking just bashing heads.
He's still not a big guy.
Nah. He's a middleweight.
Yeah.
But so then Cobra says he always wished he'd had something a little bit tougher. She says, like what?
Yeah, a harder name, he says. Like,
Alice.
Oh, God.
Fucking Ingrid laughs hysterically. Give Brigitte credit for trying to sell that shit. But Cobra says, well, we better get going. Then he makes like an odd point of telling the woman who's running the little tchotchke stand, no sale.
Yeah,
like,
what a dickhead.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Hey,
and she just
excuse me,
laughs.
miss.
She's like, ha,
miss,
ha, ha.
no sale. Like, fucking cock. You could just walk away.
Like, buy a Betty Boop, whatever that was behind the thing. Like, something probably costs nothing.
You're handling everything.
Yeah, you've touched everything already. You've made fun of her to her face. The least you could do. Damn.
So then they load in the vehicles. Now, the death cult, they're back to another one of their axe-clanking ceremonies, like, in the open.
Right.
I didn't notice this before, but they're in, like, the bottom of an empty swimming pool. Like, they're at the Y or something.
So, yeah, just a moment ago, we saw these dudes loading guns. Earlier, they tried to shoot the good guys in the chase and elsewhere. But at the beginning of the movie, we learned that the night slasher, whoever they may be, typically uses weapons that require the killer to be very close to the victim. So the book on these guys is very inconsistent.
I never thought about it, but yeah, they've shifted to exclusively guns for the last little bit.
Even Night Slasher was like, I got to kill him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Which he sucked at unless it was shooting at an inanimate object.
Like, it goes against their code or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's obviously they're getting ready for business, but also it's like, there's still people in there in business suits. It's like,
no, I think it was clearly the same shoot as the open.
Yeah,
like,
but
I'm sure if we freeze framed, it'd be the same people in the same position.
Every gathering of the murder cult starts with axe clanging?
Yeah, that's anyway, that's a call to arms.
It's like the Pledge of Allegiance.
But so yeah, they're in the bottom of this pool, which what a pain in the ass to like. There's these ladders leaned up, like you're climbing. You have to climb down into the bottom with your fucking axes.
Hey, can you toss me my axe?
Drop that axe down here, buddy.
Just toss it down next to me. I don't want to try to catch it. I'll cut off my hand.
So later, Cobra and company, they've stopped off now at a roadside diner in this incredible mountain setting.
They're always stopping. There's nothing. There's no journey. It's just like
I'm hungry.
But I do love. There's a killer sign on the motel across the street. The is in quotation marks as being like the Crossroads Motor Court, but the quotation marks are unnecessary. But
you're a copy editor.
I have a whole book of like unnecessary quotations, but you were sending like, and I follow some Instagram accounts that are nothing but like antique road signs and stuff like at motels and shit like that.
I thought this town seemed cool to me.
Yeah, it seemed very, very badass.
I saw a bunch of them when I was out in Colorado, like all the cool mountain towns.
That's very cool.
Anyway, Cobra's like struggling with the jukebox while Ingrid's dousing her fries in this ketchup.
Yeah.
And then like the Fonz, he sort of just gives it a pop and it starts playing this fucking terrible duet like ballad.
He's like he coughs and like it's so dumb.
So the song is "Loving on Borrowed Time" by Gladys Knight and Bill Medley. I don't know who Bill Medley is. Is he another?
It's a Gladys Knight song though?
Yeah.
No clue.
So now there's Miller Lite shit everywhere.
It makes me think that the song might not be that bad then, but even though like hearing it, I'm like,
it's pretty bad, dude.
Like soft pop.
It was
stuff.
something specific to this movie.
Okay.
Like on the soundtrack, it is credited as like the love theme.
So
for
it's something
Cobra.
that Gladys Knight was like, fuck yeah, I'll get paid.
Yeah,
fuck it.
No doubt.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nice.
But so now there's Miller beer shit everywhere in there.
So RC Cola.
And RC Cola.
High Life, Miller Lite, Schlitz, and have you ever had a King Cobra?
No.
So
that's kind of an Easter egg.
So once upon a time, we were doing football pick'ems.
Okay.
With the writers on the staff at the agency where I worked, we did a football pick'ems contest where you like pick the matchups and see who like gets the best score at the end of the week. And so at the end of the thing, it's like this poor dude, he would like forget to do his picks and stuff. So like the thing was that you had to drink 5 or however many people were involved in the pick'ems thing. Like everyone bought a bottle of shit that you had to drink.
The cheapest shit.
And I went and bought this dude. I'd never seen it. King Cobra malt liquor. And he's like, oh, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's going to burn a hole right through your body.
I love it.
It still exists. It's still around.
Of course. So Cobra picks up this huge, like, decorative hamburger thing that's in there, and he presents it to Ingrid and says, "Your entree is ready." It's like, again, Ingrid finds his style of humor hilarious. Cobra doubles down, saying that hamburger is for a large family. I just imagine, like, the waitress or whatever being like, "Sir, please put down, don't touch the decor.
Sir, that's not yours. Excuse me."
Though Cobra would just fucking open fire if someone like questioned him. You questioning me? So now Cobra turns his attention to her French fries. Do you have a life preserver?
Why?
Because your French fries are drowning there. Again, he's like going straight in on her eating habits again. Then, fucking wild.
Then on first watch of this movie, I had a recollection that she's like, where are we? And he's like, it's a foundry town.
It's a foundry town. That's a bizarre answer.
Why that detail?
And question.
Why that detail?
I guess just so that it makes sense later that there's a foundry, but you didn't really need that. It's like, well, first of all,
set it up.
And it's like,
right a little bit.
She's looking around the restaurant. Where are we? I would just imagine you said that it's a restaurant. Like, I don't know. How does that mean?
Restaurant
like,
across the street from the motel.
Why didn't she say, like, what is this town or something would have been a better line?
Yeah. I mean, it still read to me as like asking where in the world they were, but for him to just be like, it's a foundry town.
That should answer all your questions.
Okay.
Also big on lemon farming.
Yeah, right. The foundry is right next to a lemon orchard. But anyway, yeah.
So the other thing was there wasn't, at this point, the amount of ketchup she had wasn't overkill.
No.
At this point, it was like a normal amount of ketchup.
Yeah.
But Cobra notices that Officer Stalk, she's over in the corner making a phone call.
Right.
Ingrid asks Cobra, do you ever let go and, like, what do you do to relax? Look for trouble. He says, which I imagine is like, he laughs at it, but I imagine he means like, no, I kill homeless people.
I beat up minorities.
Yes. I go and just strong arm minorities.
And she's like, no. I mean, do you fuck?
She asks, do you ever get involved? He says, this is the worst dialogue ever.
Yep.
He says, do you mean with a woman?
Yeah,
she says,
yeah.
A real woman? What the fuck does that mean?
And she's like, yes, a real woman, a real live, not a robot.
A real live woman.
I love not real live women.
Like, I feel like Cobra might frequent sex workers a lot.
Well,
or something. Like, what does he mean by not a real woman?
I think
like, not one of these disposable.
I think he has sex with dolls.
Shit.
I think Cobra has sex with
dolls. What? This is darker. I think he might just strong arm women into sex.
He's into necrophilia?
Using his badge to This isn't
he's probably like fucking. He's probably like Ted Bundy's. Like, can you pretend you're
dead?
We've
seen him hanging around in the morgue. I think that
he's probably like, maybe shit. It happened around that. He's like, can you just pretend you're dead while we're fucking?
Damn it.
Yeah,
but
he's like, anyway, he's like, now and then nothing regular.
She asks why. He says, let's just say that not many people could put up with the way that I live, which is fucking true.
He doesn't sleep.
Because that has a ring of truth to it. I mean, we've seen his fucking apartment. There's not much of a woman's touch around there.
Yeah, the space is cool, but it looks like a psycho's place.
Yeah, no doubt. We never saw the bedroom, but it's definitely just a mattress laying on the floor.
Or just a sheet on the parquet.
So, yeah, he's got the crazy work hours and this fucking maniac aggression.
Yeah.
He's like a constant criticism of his women's eating choices.
Every woman's dream.
But if somebody cuts Cobra off in traffic and he's off the clock, what do you think happens?
Murder.
He kills them, runs them off the road.
And then he's like, they were a suspect.
They had a car. Their license plate said Awesome 50.
They matched the description.
Yeah, they fit the description.
That's right.
Fuck. So
anyway,
she asked, well, what if you found a woman who could put up with you?
She is down to clown. Yeah.
He says a woman like that would have to be a little crazy.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Emotions are running
She's
high.
like, what luck? I am a little bit crazy that way.
I think we're supposed to read the red hot chemistry between these two, which is just, it's so awkward.
It would take Stallone being a human being for there to be chemistry. But at this point, it's like she's charming and seemingly horny, and he's still like an android. He's the Terminator.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall, like in their marital home, because I just can't even imagine these two having a conversation.
No,
in real life.
No, I can't imagine her like trying to come up and be like, tender, loving in any way, and him just being like, I gotta work out.
Gotta work out. Do you want to do a bump with me before I work out?
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. Here, have a glass of vodka.
I fucking hate Schwarzenegger.
Bring the vodka down and watch me work out.
What?
Okay. But the Cobra's attention is strayed. He's wandered back over to Stalk. She's talking on the phone. She checks her watch nervously.
Yeah, he's thinking something's up.
Ingrid gives her fries another dousing of ketchup, much to Cobra's disgust.
I love that she's attractive, but also disgusts him.
I know, it was good face work from Stallone there.
Yeah,
seriously, because he looked like he was disgusted.
He looked like he was gonna vomit.
So now, about a dozen armed cult members, they're mounting up on motorcycles. They're riding out, but they were mounting up on motorcycles in the bottom of that swimming pool. Right. Which I'm like, how the fuck can you get out of there?
Are some of these people we think that they're the same guys who were in business suits a moment ago?
I don't know. We don't see anyone. That would have been sweet if they were riding.
Like we need you to shoot a gun, wield a knife. You need to own your own motorcycle.
or just a dirt bike.
Anyone who doesn't own a motorcycle, we're going to have some trucks there that are going to take you out to the event.
So now later that night at the motel, Ingrid's turning out the lights for bed. She likes to sleep with her wig on.
That's her real hair. Not.
In another cabin, Gonzalez, he's checking his pistol, turning out the lights.
Why are they in separate cabins?
I mean, there's a lot of weird shit happening.
They should all be in the same cabin.
Well, I got questions. But So we see the evil officer Stalk. She's hitting the payphone outside near the nativity scene because it's Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
Christmas flick. Now, do you think, is she just openly calling cult headquarters with all these calls?
Yes. I feel like she's got a piece of paper and she's calling down the list because you have to remember what year this was. It was like she's making the first call and then everyone else calls everyone else.
Like soccer practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Soccer practice has been canceled, boys.
We're
at the whatever roadside motel or whatever it was.
That's right.
But so she hangs up. She walks out, finds Cobra just waiting to confront her there.
Yeah.
It's cool that he's left Ingrid unattended in her cabin.
Nothing about it makes sense.
So she says she's just checking on things back home. Cobra wants to know why she didn't use the phone in her room.
Oh, it's out of order.
Now, is she sharing a cabin with Gonzalez? They never show them in there together.
I think that they're supposed to be sharing a cabin, and then she changes the subject about the weather. It's like, cool, it's cold out.
It's cold. Ooh, it's cold. I don't know, for what it's worth, I just want you to know I think you're doing a great job, she says. And he says, yeah, I think you're doing a great job, too.
Bitch.
Now, later, we see that Cobra, he's unpacking his satchel of grenades. It's intercut with shots of the evil cult they're approaching by motorcycle. It's that scene, man, like where the hero fucking arming up for battle.
G.I. Joe, baby.
We get it every time.
Dress your G.I. Joe.
Where did he get the grenades from? From like the army surplus?
So that's what I'm like. He is loudly assembling.
She's trying to sleep.
Yeah. And at this point, like when I first saw her turning out the light, it didn't occur to me that they were in the same cabin.
Space.
And he's over there like clack, 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 clack. Yeah, it's like, and it's like definitely keeping her from sleeping.
Just counting my grenades, Ingrid. Well, I don't think police are allowed to just supply their own weapons like that.
He's on the zombie squad.
Yeah, he's loudly assembling his submachine gun, which is keeping Ingrid awake. She's like, he's doing all this bullshit. I feel like he's trying to keep her nervous in this weird, like, sociopathic way where he's like, I want you to be reliant upon me.
Did you get some sleep? And she's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you should try to sleep.
You're like, being loud as fuck. Shut up.
We should mention, though, this is where I have it, like in my notes, how inappropriate it is that he's shacked up with her in the room.
Yeah.
Like, how is it, first of all, it should probably be her in her own cabin with officers all around the outside.
Yes.
But if anyone's going to be in there, it should be Stalk in the room with her, not Cobra. Unless there was a scene that was cut out where she asked that Cobra be the one in the cabin.
But still, they'd be like, we can't do that but it's 1986. They'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like, can he please keep his penis inside me to make sure that he's like,
definitely.
Sure. My location is secured. But so, yeah. He finishes putting this gun together. He's testing the fucking laser scope out. The gun was this weird gun. It was called a Jati-matic. It's like a gun made in Finland. It never really caught on, but it was like, I guess, popular in movies and shit in the early 80s. But no.
Just because of the look?
I guess. I don't know, but it was no different than like a Tech 9 or an Uzi or something would have been so much cooler. But he got to put this shit together. Which I guess was what was cool about it. I don't know. But, yeah, he notices Ingrid's awake.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Says, have you gotten any sleep? She says, not really.
No,
he says, well, you should try to get some sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fucking dick.
Let me know when you're done putting guns and grenades together. Thank you.
So she lays back down. And then Cobra says that he can hear that her eyes are still open.
And then things, as if they couldn't get weirder, they get weirder.
The ballad, the Gladys Knight ballad, cranks back up.
And she's like, "Get over here and
come over here."
Assertive.
The song was fucking horrible. The director even said on the commentary, he's like having the song back in this scene was like a bad choice.
Yeah.
Especially this is interesting. He said the fact that we were intercutting it with the cult. Closing in on them and then having the love ballad, it just made the whole scene weird.
Or a love scene with the cult closing in. Is it suspenseful
or is this a romantic moment?
They should have had the love scene and then the cult closing in.
Exactly.
But anyway,
that was his point.
Stallone gets his way.
So she asks him, what are you going to do when all this is over? He says,
strange question to ask.
I don't know. Maybe another case. Fucking the obvious answer.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do my job.
I'll just continue being Cobra.
Yeah.
But so she asks, are we still going to see each other? He wants to know, does she think that's a good idea? And she says she thinks it might be.
Oh,
hey now.
Oh.
So Cobra then gets up abruptly saying he needs to go check the window.
I should check the window.
And she grabs him and pulls him back over and they kiss.
The key changes in the ballad, shifts up to let us know that things have escalated.
Now, do you think they full on fuck here?
Yes.
Okay.
But what about the window? He never
cares.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I would think the last thing that is on Ingrid's mind right now is feeling horny.
Not when Stallone's writing this movie.
Yeah, not when Stallone's musk, pheromones.
She looks over and she's like, God damn it, I have to have that.
He's the epitome of masculinity.
She looks over there, non sequitur, like, can you come here, please?
I thought you were going to say, can you come inside me, please?
Well, that's also true.
Later that night, thunder's rumbling. It awakens Stalk.
Mm-hmm.
Ingrid's sleeping, and it looks like Cobra's just been awake all night with this fucking emotionless mask.
He is ready to go zombie squad on the whole town.
He's got this psycho look. I feel like he's got his fucking finger on the trigger of the gun. Is just fucking not a hint of emotion on his face. I feel like
real life.
He fucked Ingrid and then went back to holding his gun and just went back into
his soul fled.
Power save mode or
He
something.
put his soul inside of her for the night, so to speak.
So now in the early morning light, we see the bikers. They're rolling into town. The fictional town of San Remos.
Yes, population 123 souls.
Tiny town.
Google seems to think it's not a real place.
No, I looked it up. I couldn't find it.
It's not a thing.
So the tension's building here.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit later, Gonzalez is pacing around outside the cabins as Cobra and Ingrid, they step out with just smelling like sex.
Just sticky, crusty.
Cobra tells Gonzalez, why don't you go see what's taking Stalk so long?
Yeah.
So Ingrid asks Cobra, why do you look mad? And he's like, I always look like this before breakfast. I feel like this is his regular morning after routine. He's let me become distant and standoffish.
I don't know how to act in social situations. I'm ashamed of myself because of my Catholic upbringing.
Well, I think he's not going to push you away now.
Yeah.
Maybe
you want me later.
After we fucked, it'll make you want me more later.
There needs to be a Cobra TV show.
He's a fucking sociopath.
Yep.
But so Gonzalez, he comes back, says Stalk is gone, which sets off alarm bells for Cobra.
The music gets weird. It's like that crazy that doesn't stop for the next.
What instrument is that? Is that like a string instrument?
Synthesizer, but I think it's supposed to sound like strings doing that. I think it's all synthesized because for the next, 25, 30 minutes of the movie, it's like that sound intercut with like the like stuff from The Shining that sounds like Bella Bartok.
There's almost no talking from here to the end of the film, just
none,
about.
Which made the script writing very easy.
The night slasher's monologue later, which I do enjoy.
Yeah.
But so, we see a truck pull into sight. We see Stalks over there talking to the driver, pointing towards Cobra.
That's the guy.
Cobra screams, "Everybody get inside!" There's bad guys fucking everywhere now.
I love Gonzalez. I never liked that bitch.
I never liked that bitch.
Yeah, me either.
That was a good laugh line. Yeah,
they're immediately, they're wise. They're like, oh, shit, we've been sold up the river.
Now, he sends Gonzalez to a different cabin than the one that they go into, which doesn't make sense.
It's like, why not all get in the same cabin and hold down the fort?
But what if Ingrid and I want to fuck again?
and that's where this episode of 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger.
What if she puts it on me?
What if in the gunfight we both get a certain way? Deeper. Yeah,
there you go. They barricade themselves in the cabin. The cabins, and that's where we're gonna have to leave you.
Oh man, what's gonna happen?
I don't know. I got a feeling Cobra at least is gonna survive. I can't speak for anybody else.
He'll probably kill Ingrid or be like, just you kill her. I don't care.
You a real live woman? A real live woman?
Yes, a real live woman.
Shit.
What?
That's
Stallone's
the weirdest shit in the world.
I can't even imagine Stallone in like a real live situation talking to a person trying to. Guys, just I want to talk to people who've been around him and be like, so what's the deal?
I feel like it could have been that situation like Tom Cruise where it's like these women, they like, go vet this woman and decide if she's going to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's not up to her. We don't have to have a conversation and see if we click. I just like the look of her.
I would like for her to show up with me at functions.
On red carpets with me.
Can't you imagine how striking we would look together?
She's towering over him.
which probably why he ruined her, because he couldn't stand it. She's so beautiful, but she's taller than I am. Why has she got to be 5'9"?
I
will ruin her for the rest of her life. Anyways, Sly, you're terrible.
We love you.
Oh, we love you. I mean,
watch
we love you.
Samaritan on Amazon Prime.
I probably will check it out just to see what that's about. I
started watching it earlier. It wasn't bad, but I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got one more episode to clue you guys into what happens in the exciting conclusion of this movie. Will Ingrid live? We don't know. We're not sure. Does Cobra care? We're also not sure. But we'll let you know.
We'll be back.